Hello and welcome, I'm Daniel Ball, the LAT IT Trainer, and today we're going to be looking at using version history in Google Docs. There are some great features in Google Docs. One of these is collaboration, which means you can work with other people. Another is that it's constantly saving. That means if your computer crashes, your internet goes down, things like that, it's constantly saving it so you don't lose work, which if you've experienced that in the past, you know that's quite a painful experience. But with this comes new ways of thinking and new ways of working. And what version history does is smooths that transitions and supports this new way of working. So let's have a look at version history and how you can access it. So in a document, there are two ways of accessing it. You can go into the File menu and you go down to Version History and click here, you can see Version History. There's even a shortcut there. Another easier way of accessing it is clicking this area here where it says All Changes Saved. If you click this, it brings up the version history. Now in the version history screen, it shows you on the right hand side here the different versions. Now these versions, as you can see here, go back in time, but also they show the different people who have worked on the document. So I can go back and look at my own versions in the past, or I can look at the edits of others. What you can see there is that the different people are color coded as well. So where it's colored in this kind of green color, you can see that's my edits. And if I click on this area here, I can scroll through and I'm looking for where are Tim's edits. I can see they're highlighted in the purple color. So here's where, when you're collaborating with others, you can see exactly what other people have contributed to your document and what changes they've made. Now obviously one of the things with collaboration is sometimes you might not be happy with what people have done. And so this does allow you to view that, and then if I didn't like those edits, I could restore it to a previous version. So if I didn't like Tim's edits, I go back to the version before that, and I've got a button here that says restore this version. Now if I do this, and I'll do it here, it restores it to that version, and I get a new version. So if I go back into my version history, this new version is my restored version. Now maybe, again, I've changed my mind, I didn't really like that, and I just realized I've lost all my edits as well, and I can go through and restore this newer version again. See, one thing I do want to show you is you get this little down arrow here, and that does give you an expanded version. Now, this document didn't have many changes, but if you actually have a version that has lots of changes, it really does break it down so you can see exactly what has happened there. Because one of the other great things for version history is the realization that we make mistakes. And so therefore, if you've deleted some sections and you need to go back to a previous section, you can do so. Another thing that, again, this is with the saving mechanism in Google Docs that people seem to have to get used to, is because you haven't got an option to do a save as, they'll start working over a document and realize it's their template or they didn't want to, and their plan was to do a save as and save it as a new version. But now you might think it's too late, but all is not lost. And what you can do, if there was a previous version that, for example, was a template, you can click on this More Actions button, and that allows you to make a copy. So imagine we've worked over the template, we want to go back and restore the blank template. I find out the position in my version history where that template is and click Make a Copy, and then it allows me to make a copy of that original document. The last thing I want to show you in version history is that you can actually rename the different versions. So what I could do, I could call this, for example, July's version. I do that by hovering. You can also do it by pressing the dots, and it says name this version. So I could call that Tim's version. And this means that when I'm working on my version histories, if I click on here, only show named versions, it minimizes the amount of versions there, just the name ones as well. So it might be key times or key people that you only want to see those versions of. I really hope you liked what you saw today. And if you did, there are a few things you can do. First of all, you can subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button. Secondly, hit the like button so we know you enjoyed it. Third, write in the comments below any thoughts you've got or suggestions. And lastly, share the video with others. We also have lots of other training videos, so do check out our training YouTube channel.